morning, welcome back to my channel, Our Wandering Footprints. It's Friday here in Arkansas, and I had a big old can of the number 10 can size of peaches in light syrup, and I drained them and I chopped them up. I'm going to make 2 loaves of peach bread with it. I needed to use it up, and so I thought, well, I'll just use the canned peaches since I don't have any fresh. And I can put one in the freezer, and we can try the other one, and Ed can take the rest to work with, to share with his guy buddies. So anyway, so in this bowl, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. The recipe called for 2 cups of sugar, but I'm cutting it down. I'm using a half a cup of regular white sugar and a cup of brown sugar. So I cut it down a little bit. And I have 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I have oil, 1 cup of oil sitting off to the side. I'm using coconut oil. This is the brand that I'm using. I just kind of melt it in the microwave a little bit to make it liquid. 4 fresh eggs, large eggs from my chickens. And the recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, but I'm going to use a teaspoon of vanilla and then a half teaspoon of my Watkins peach extract, and we'll see how that turns out. And then the recipe called for 3 15-ounce cans of peach chunks, well drained, but I had, like I said, I had some left over from the can, a big can, and I've actually drained it some, but there's a little bit of juice, but I don't think that'll matter. And so this equals about 3 cups of chopped peaches. And so, then the extra spices I put in, let's turn this around a little bit. This one here is a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh ground nutmeg. This is the brand that I use, Whole Foods, organic. And so I ground it up there myself. And so we're just going to mix up these dry ingredients with our whisk. You can use a stand mixer. I just didn't feel like getting it out today. So we're going to use our whisk first, just to get it incorporated. And then I'll switch to my wooden spoon after I get this kind of mixed up. Okay. And these brown sugars, you can use your hands and just break them up. They're just soft. I already looked through it for any hard pieces. But it smells really good with those cloves and cinnamon. Okay. Now we're going to add, yeah, tear my cabinet up in the meantime. 1 cup of the melted oil, coconut oil. You can use any kind of oil that you want. I just happen to like to use coconut oil. That aside. Let's kind of mix this up a little bit. Incorporate it just a little. Okay, now we're going to add our 4 eggs. I'm just going to add them all at one time. Get them broke up. And, like I said, it's probably a little bit easier with your mixer, but I just didn't feel like getting it off the shelf and pulling it out here. So this will be like 1 bowl and mixing cup, and mix it all up. Plus, I need exercise, so I think this is good exercise for your arms. There we go. Okay, now we're going to add our vanilla. I'm using McCormick brand, pure vanilla. I'm going to do a teaspoon of that. Okay. And then a half a teaspoon of our peach extract from Watkins. Oh, it smells so good. I love Watkins spices. Well, I mean, I love all their products, but it's really good. Let's get this mixed up. Okay. Piece of brown sugar. Yeah, I really like I said, the recipe didn't call for brown sugar, but I think brown sugar with the molasses flavor, it's going to add to the fall taste of this bread. Okay, now we're going to add our peaches. Put that aside. Okay, here we go. Here's our peaches. And we're just going to fold this in. And this recipe actually makes 2 loaf pans of bread. And you can also do it, I might go ahead and do it anyway, but it's powdered sugar icing that you put on the top. Once they're baked and they're completely cooled, this is going to be so good. It's going to be really, really moist. And you could also use fresh peaches if you had them, but I'm just using what I have. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's get our loaf pans and we'll get them filled up and put in the oven. Okay, I've got my 2 loaf pans sprayed with my Baker's Joy. This is what I like to use when I bake. But you could use, you know, whatever you want, coarse-grained flour or whatever. So now I'm going to try to evenly fill these up just with a spoon. A couple spoons, 3 spoons here. Excuse me. 2, 3. Spread these out a little bit. 1. Well, it's not going to be perfect, but as close as you can get. You could use your measuring cup, I guess, and do it, but I don't want to do that. Spoonful for you. Okay, the bowl's scraped out here. I'm telling you, these summer colds are a pain in the booty. Okay, there we go. Okay, last one. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to bake these at, my oven's been preheating it at 350. And so we're going to put these in there. And oh, they smell so good. Clean that off a little bit. And we're going to bake them for about, it says 50 minutes, but I'll have to check them beforehand to make sure that they don't burn. So I will bring you back when they're all finished. Okay, my canned peach breads are all finished. They turned out beautiful. I'm so excited. They smell wonderful. And you can see the peaches in there peeking out the top. It should be nice and moist. So it took about almost 50 minutes in my oven, just like the recipe. I think it's a 50 to 60 minutes, but I checked it at like 40 and it was not done yet. So I did like, that was almost 50 minutes. I can't remember, but they turned out perfect. So because I used my tester in the center and they're all done. So, but they turned a beautiful golden brown. I'm going to let them cool for about 10 to 15 minutes in the pan, and then I'm going to take them out and let them cool on the rack until they're completely cool. So I will bring you right back. Okay, I thought I'd make a simple powdered sugar glaze, at least for one of these peach breads that I've made. I think the other one I'm just going to put it in the freezer for another time. But in my bowl here I have 1 cup of powdered sugar, and then I'm going to add 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of milk. We'll see where we go here. I'm just using whole milk. There's 1, 2. Let's just try 2 first, and we'll see what it looks like. So I want to be able to like, you know, drizzle it over top. Oh yeah, it's going to take another one. It's just a little too thick. So let's try another one. And you could use whipping cream, which I have, which gives you a thicker, creamier, but whole milk's fine. This biscuit. Get all the dry up. And you could add flavorings to this. I'm just going to do it just like it is. Just a simple one. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let me get my breads and we'll start to drizzle. Okay, I'm just going to put that drizzled powdered sugar icing on this one. And this one's going to go in the freezer. Or, you know what? I'll put the bigger one in the freezer. So it raises a little bit higher. And we'll do this one. I went ahead and put it in one of my little candy making bottles. You can buy these at Hobby Lobby, or I think Walmart even carries them. It's just easier to do. So you can squeeze it. I'm just going to drizzle it. Let it run down the sides a little bit. So pretty. These are really nice to take to people's potlucks for the holidays or whatever you want to do. And it runs down into the crack of that. My husband actually loves these with these kind of breads, I should say, with ice cream. And on the sides. That is so pretty. But I don't think it freezes very well if you put this icing on there, so I'm just going to use it all. And now I'm going to let it sit and until the icing sets and gets, you know, a little bit hardened, and it'll be done. So beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I may come back with a taste test, but that's how they turned out, and I'm really excited about to try them. So I'll bring you back for a taste test. Okay, I thought I'd do a little taste test for you. I'm just going to cut off the end. Oh, it's nice and moist. Even the ends are not hard. Oh, look at that. There's some peaches. Whoop. The peaches in there. The icing. Okay. I'm going to use our fork. And we're going to give it a try. Okay, here goes. Oh my goodness. That tastes just like fall. With the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the cloves. And I'm glad I used the brown sugar along with the white sugar. And I'm definitely glad I cut the sugar down from the recipe, because that would have been way, way too sweet. It is so delicious. And moist. Look at that. I got some coffee making. Beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you tried this recipe. It is so good. And give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I know my husband's going to be excited about this with his coffee tonight. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.